What's good, y'all? It's kennykamz here. My voice is a little bit messed up, y'all. I'm getting a little sick, but I saw a video from Sabby Sabs. Shout out Sabby Sabs because she did a fantastic job covering this, and it's wild that like she actually lived across the street from it. But what we're talking about today is the young man getting chased down by the store owner, and that resulted in him losing his life. Let's get into the intro. All right, y'all. We're gonna get right in the video. Drop me a like, comment, subscribe. Again, excuse me. Again, the channel's growing, y'all. Like I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the likes and all that stuff, man. But it's been cool to see my channel kind of rise because I'm doing this literally by myself. So I'm not one of the internet people that got like people behind them or anything like that. I started this in my basement in 2021, and we are here. So let's check out this story. It's a sad story, y'all, but I want to break down some specific points in it.
Showing you the
I
reaction
actually think
in the courtroom
that Savvy is still live right now too, but I was watching. I'm like, I gotta talk about that.
when he was found not guilty. This is the angle. There's Richard Chow there. So this is the angle from the defense side of the courtroom.
And it's gonna be a longer video because she breaks it down well. But I on this topic specifically, I got a whole lot to say. So from a lot of different angles. So tune in for long. It's gonna be a longer episode, y'all.
K. Rick Chow as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Fine number 302, four-person, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Thank
That's the defense angle. And here's the angle of the verdict being read from the prosecutor side. So you'll see the family here.
you. Your verdict.
Yes, it is.
Number 2, was this your verdict? 257.
That's very hard to watch, man.
Is it still your verdict? Number 63, was this your verdict? Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Number 208, was this your verdict?
So I'm gonna talk about it when we get into the video part. But how this is not a national like. I've seen black people go nuts and get in the street for like the George Floyd and like what was dude down in Racine, like that was scumbags. And we try to say, oh, don't speak ill of the dead. I'm not. They were scumbags when they were alive. And even with the Trayvon Martin, with the Mike Brown, like all those stories, it was I don't know, you never know the truth of that, but like none of those it was not a lot of innocent parties involved wholly in all of those situations. Once I listened to what Sabby talked about, and she went to college in this town and lived next door to this gas station, or down the street from this gas station. The fact that this is the type of stuff that y'all should be getting in the street for. If you're gonna do it for BLM and all of that stuff, that's why I say, like, and I've learned this lesson the hard way, y'all. Working in nonprofits, really working in the trenches, like I like to say. Most of the people, black people that you meet that are at high levels are performative. It's nothing behind it. They'll say F the whole community and take the money and run. Quickest chance they get. Had one of my best friends do that. Best friends growing up do that. And that's the part that frustrates me the most dealing with my people. The fact that people like, where are the Sean Kings and the Sean King or whatever, like the light skinned white dude and Amanda Seals? Why ain't y'all talking about this? This should be the biggest story on all black media. And none of them care because it's all performative. It's all performative. that's really why I continue, like, not why I started, but why I continue to do this, because I was like, man, I'm have a real job, make do all my, like, this is part time for me. This is like my thing I do. I'm at home by myself. I look at how all of them, how so performative, and that's the reason why I'm like, man, no, because somebody has to call this out. With Jay-Z, that video did really good numbers, because I think people are starting to change and people are starting to see it, because it's like an energy shift in the world. And I don't know if y'all can feel it, but I can actually feel it. It's, in that energy shift, stuff has to come to light. And not just saying like, oh, conspiracies and stuff, behavior and intentions, and that's what's changing, is that it's very difficult for people to hide their intentions now. And you can't really stray away from your intentions. So let's keep going, because I want when Sabby actually get into this, because it's a very complex situation, but I'm gonna break it down with her as it goes.
That you're going to see called Greenbrier Apartments.
So this is where Sabby lives.
That's where I lived. I lived right next to that Shell gas station. And as you can see here, it's right on the corner. So as you are coming out of that apartment complex, it's the first gas station that you see. It's also, I think, the first gas station that you're going to see if you're coming off of the interstate. Long story short, that Shell station receives a lot of customers, a lot of traffic.
And I want to say, go subscribe to Sabby Sabs. Go subscribe to her. She is amazing at this thing. One of the realest in this.
So when I heard about this, it made me feel some kind of way. I haven't lived in Columbia, South Carolina for quite some time, but that was my home. That was my home when I was, graduating from the University of South Carolina, and that was my home for 5 years after that. And I lived right in that apartment complex. For those who are not familiar with the area, that area has changed. When I lived there, that area was about 50-50-ish, right? So it was about, I say like 46% Black, 46% white. There are multiple apartment complexes on Park Lane Road. So there's Greenbrier, there's Paces Run, like there's a lot of them there. It's a whole strip of them. And at that time when I lived there, it was about split. It was about, half and half. Asian Americans and Latino Americans were the smallest part of the population.
So that was interesting to me, and I don't want to step on her point here, but it was interesting to me that I didn't know that South Carolina was that like equally racially divided in like the major categories. You know what I mean? But what she's saying right now, and what the point she's getting across, is that the area that they're in now. So I'm guessing this guy's owned this gas station for a very, very long time. The area that he opened that gas station in is not the area that exists there now. And she's going to talk about, because they built a subdivision, and that subdivision's demographics are 50-50 too. So like the people with money leave. And that I'm betting that area turned dangerous, turned to the hood. And so I want to make that point.
For the most part, Columbia and South Carolina in general is about half and half Black, half and half white. Right. So it's different than some other places.
That is very different.
That you may have lived or where you live now. And I've been to that gas station so many times. It's just, it's hard. It's hard when I heard about this story. I was talking to a friend of mine about this last night. She was telling me how much that neighborhood has now changed. So now the demographics have shifted drastically. Now that neighborhood, Northeast Columbia in particular, is about 69% Black. So there was a shift. And then I think I realized where the shift went. Later on, before I left South Carolina, they were really building up a town called Blythewood. And Blythewood it's nice. It's a pretty place,
little bit, but
a town right outside of Columbia. They were really building it up. Gas station, Rick Chow. And we'll get a little bit more about him in a minute. So this is the video of it. And
I'm going to fast forward, so the video's not super long.
And you can see they're watching him right here. So here's Cyrus with the
So
red
I want to make
sweatshirt,
a
and he puts the book bag down.
I want to make a point about both ways, because when you're so I'm from Milwaukee, right? I grew up on Atkinson's. My whole like much of my family lived in that neighborhood. It was a shooting at a gas station on Titonia and Roosevelt, and my grandma lived directly across the street from that gas station, like directly. It's like an auto place right next to her at the end of the block, and then it's her house, and the gas station is directly across. And I was trying to explain to people then of like, and the guy that actually shot him, actually, the people that moved into my grandma's house. So she's been passed and like that, that sold the house and all that stuff. So it was just an interesting connection. They ran that house down where I hate to see it when I go there. I don't even drive that way now, so I don't have to see it because how it looks now from how we had it. But the store owners become part of the community. I've always, my entire life, lived in rough neighborhoods. Besides like maybe 2 or 3 years as an adult. And you get to, because you go there, like it's a people that don't really like know, I guess, or not from the cities or from cities. You interact with your gas station and like it's different cultures, and it's a thing of the workers in the black community. I mean the store owners in the black community. They don't reflect the community that they're in. A lot of reasons of that. A lot of it's purposely done. And now that I'm learning that, like a lot of these different cultures can get grants and loans and stuff to open businesses here, it's frustrating. As someone that has tried to open 3 businesses, actually, 2 for sure, but 3, one is the third one, kind of. I got one thing of support from one person, and it was like $2,000, which I appreciated at the time because I was paying for camps, so I appreciated it at the time. But they don't support black men. Like, you can't. Now, black women, they get all the support too. Black men don't get support business-wise. We actually get looked upon as we're trying to scam. And it's interesting to me that the people that actually are scamming get looked at as people that are doing well. It's all reverse, raw reverse back. It's all jacked up, y'all. They get loans and stuff to open these businesses and come here, and what this is gonna boil down to is influence and like having money. This is a class situation, not it's race. Yes, race is 100% involved, because that when Sabby gets into that old Asian dude's background, the owner's background, he's a fucking maniac. And when you in these neighborhoods, you know the gas stations where the owner is a maniac. They do so much wrong in this case. I'm gonna get a little emotional on this, y'all, because it frustrates me, because I work with black boys. I've worked with like that my whole life. And this could have been any of them. This could have been me in my neighborhood. And the black community is dead silent on this. It's extremely frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. And when you know those maniac owners that hate the community that they serve, they look down on the people that they're in, that is buying things from them. They look down on them because they know if they move that store, there's no other access to anything in that area. So they got in the chokehold. It's some cool ones, like the liquor store by my house. If it's on Atkinson, or no, it's still Atkinson and like Titonia on like that. It's on the corner. It's like a Love's Liquor. They've been cool. I was a kid going there with my dad, so like, they've been cool. And the son grew up with us pretty much. You know what I mean? Like we weren't the same. We weren't like friends, but we've been the same age and stuff. So we know them. I actually seen him at another gas station when I lived in Bayview. And he was like, "Bro, you live over here?" And I didn't, I can't spot him. Like I'm like, I can't tell you apart, bro, or I don't want to assume. And I was like, "You did look familiar, bro." Like, "Oh man," he's like, "Yeah, I live over here now." Like my mom and them live over there. I live over here now. He was like, "Oh, we bought this gas station." So you build the relationship. So it's some cool ones, but it's some ones that look down on the people that is buying stuff from them. Point blank, period. And that's what this situation is. So, 'cause I don't want the video to be too long. I'm gonna fast forward, and I don't want to bite too much of Savvy's content. Go subscribe to Savvy Sav. I'll say it again. So, as a young black man, I'm a older black man now, but in my young black man days, my teenage days, I still to this day, as a grown ass man, feel uncomfortable being in stores because I think they're gonna think I'm gonna steal. I've never stolen anything from a store in my life. I'm 36 years old, and I still feel uncomfortable. I still don't have my hands in my pockets. I still, it. What I'm realizing is, and I don't know if this is a me thing or if it's an every black man thing or if it's a my personality type or my. I've realized that, and I try not to do this actively anymore because like I realize how much of my life I lived having to be so aware of my situational awareness that I'm fucking exhausted. I realize that I'm exhausted, bro. And in the career I do too, I have to solve a lot of people's problems. That's why when people are like, you don't really do too much, you don't have a lot of problems, I kind of stay to myself. But it's because during the day, my daily life is literally solving people's problems, working with like it takes a lot of mental. And I realized it started at this age. Because at this age, I had to do that in the city. I'm in the hood in Milwaukee. They were watching him the whole time. And they do that, like, you gonna see her, this is the wife. So does it look like on film that he stole the water bottles? It 100% looks like it to me. Like, I mean, from what I saw in the video, let's play it back. So like, but I could be wrong. He could be trying to get his phone.
It's
He could
just
be,
this
you know what I
video
mean? So
footage, and it was just him. And
So,
so
watch,
here
he's
is
right
Cyrus
here.
over here. Now, pay attention.
So he looked like he looking in there.
We'll get a little bit closer. This is the son right here behind the register. So the son works there too.
So they're watching them because you see Mama's right there.
Now you'll
son's
see
watching
here, it
them.
goes back to Cyrus, and you can see he's grabbing, this must have been the water bottles. So it looks like he's grabbing a couple of water bottles.
He
May
grabbed
or
it and
may
he put
not
it
have
back.
put 'em in
I
his
think
hoodie.
he checked the price on them and put them back.
And you can see they're watching him right here.
And he might have tossed it when he ran too. So
But then here's the interesting part. Because it'll zoom in a little bit more here. So she's asking him if he took the water. He said, I don't have any water bottles.
So I want to pause there, so he got found not guilty, y'all. This is why I said this is emotional for me, because it's that kid. If he didn't steal the water bottles, right? They're not in his hoodie, and they just accusing him. He did nothing wrong in this case. Even how he did that, he didn't spaz out. He just said, "I don't have no water bottles," and then he left. He didn't try to get into it with him. He didn't try to start nothing with him. Like, what else could he have done better to stay alive in this situation? That's what they should have charged, or that's what they should have went. Like, he could have nothing that he could have done could have stopped this. He did everything that you are taught to do in that situation. Like, no, if you didn't, you accuse me. Like, no, I didn't do that, and then I'm gonna leave. And so they don't have the video of him getting shot. Thank God. I wish they did so we can see the scene, but not. So this is him coming out of the store, right? One, they talk about theft and all of that, and Sabby says it in the video too, but you leave a dude at the register, y'all all run out the store. It's a water bottle. What you do is you look on the cameras, get his face, put on the door, he can't come in. You don't chase him down. That's so wrong, bro. This is such a, like, and it's crazy because, like, when, again, with Trayvon Martin and George, like, I looked at the case, I'm like, this one, I'm like, that's why I'm like, how is the black media not talking about this? They chased down and executed this little boy. He's 14. And they said he had a gun on him, which I didn't see. I'm actually going to watch most of this trial because it's on court TV to see if they actually show proof he had a gun. Because he may have had a gun, bro. And that still doesn't warrant him getting killed. That's the excuse dad, mom, and brother made quick. They could have threw a gun on him. You know what I mean? They could have planted a gun on this boy after he shot him. Like conspiracies happen. They were conspiring to not have the owner of the gas station go to jail before the police got there. They all three should have been arrested immediately and questioned. Immediately. Or not arrested, but detained and questioned immediately. All of them. Separately. They chased this boy 200 yards, bro. That's 2 football fields, fam. Most people can't even run that far. And so they leave a register. And if it was really about stealing, they wouldn't have left behind the register. So he walk out and then he see that.
But if they were really so worried about theft, why would you leave?
I don't know. So I took Sappy's point there, but so I want to see, because he started out walking and then you see
out of the gas station.
You see two grown ass men chasing you. You gonna fucking take off, bro. Now it's running time. Because you don't know what they own. And and what it is they see black boys as criminals. All of them do. No matter where we are, and I realize this I'm realizing this now in my 30s, bro. And from the time I was about 12, because I had mustache and stuff, and I was like 12, 13. I was looked at as a criminal. Even to this day, bro. I can go and drop and talk, dude. It's still a thing of like, nah, he's still a nigga. And I realize it, bro. I realize it. And it's a subconscious thing a lot of people do. And I'm not talking about like no microaggressions. It's the not thinking that I am capable of doing what other people can do. Or if I can do that, I need extra assistance to do that. That's what it is, bro. And I see it everywhere, man. I see it everywhere. And it's sad, bro. Let's go a little bit further on this. And then so this is him talking to the cop. This is what I want y'all to see about, and I'm gonna wrap it. I might go to 30, but I'm gonna wrap it after that.
Reports Chow and the woman struggled outside. The woman allegedly threatened to shoot him. Chow fired about 6 shots at her vehicle as she drove away. No one was injured. Charges were not filed.
Why?
That's another example
Why?
of where he tried to take.
He discharged a firearm in a public setting. That is a felony. He has cameras in his gas station that they should have requested and subpoenaed his tape records. Why wasn't he charged? That's why I'm like, it's something deeper than this, where he's politically connected. Where he's politically connected in that area. Or knows the DA. It's something there. Sabby Saps, you know these people, please look into this. It's something there. It's something there with his business ties. Because that shooting 6 times at a car at a gas station after an argument, that's intent to harm. And it's discharging a firearm in a public setting. That's a felony. You can't do that. That's a felony. I'm guessing South Carolina's an open carry state because it's in the South, but you can't discharge a firearm in public at someone. That's attempted murder. Why wasn't he charged? And he did this 3 times. He shot a dude in the leg over a can of oven cleaner. $5. Shot a dude in the leg.
Matter into his own hands. Instead
shot him
of
twice in the leg.
Contacting the police. Here's another one. October 2018, a man allegedly concealed a can of oven cleaner. Reports state the man assaulted Chow during the confrontation. Chow shot him twice in the leg.
This dude's a fucking maniac. This dude's a maniac. No rational, and a lot of people I realize in power are like him, or in positions like him. Are you kidding me, bro? You shoot somebody in the leg over an oven cleaner? He's been looking to kill someone. He shot at her car 6 times. This dude should be in prison now. Like, no question, he should be in prison right now. And he got off again. And y'all not mad about this. I wouldn't even care if they made it about race. with this one. And I hate when people make stuff about race, but I wouldn't even care. I have heard nothing about this story. This happened in 2023. I've heard nothing about this until I saw Sabby Sabs. Shout out Sabby Sabs again, man. Go like, comment, subscribe, Sabby Sabs. So I want to go there. Let's see. It was one part that she talked about.
In opening statements, when they talked about that, one thing I thought was great was he described that it was that 130 yards would be the equivalent of a football field goalpost to goalpost. Had I given that opening statement, I would have had that
Well,
picture.
he's walking and he started running like, bro, why they chasing me?
Picture of a football field from goalpost to goalpost, so the jury could see how far they hunted. These two grown men hunted this 14-year-old, and I would.
130 yards.
That's crazy,
That's how
bro.
far they. That's how.
That's crazy,
How
bro.
badly they wanted to get this water bottle back that didn't even exist.
Oh yeah. So the son on the stand says that he didn't even steal
Use
it.
that word. I wouldn't have said chase. I would have said hunted. That's how I would have really portrayed this.
Look, he grabs a gun and
which
goes.
I think is accurate, quite frankly. Now, on the flip side, the defense, in their opening statement, they talked about the defendant's credentials
Okay, yeah. Let's keep going.
and how he came to America and how he built his business and his family. They gave the jury all this information to humanize this person. So, I mean, big difference. I think that made a big difference in the jury's mind because they can.
Sabs, look it up. Please do the background on it. I would guess he is a high level something drug trafficker. Gang. It's something. It's something there, Sabby. It's something there because this trial was a sham. You don't humanize the little. So they didn't do no humanizing the little boy, the 14-year-old. They did it for him, and they just called him like the 14-year-old boy. Still don't even know the boy's name. This was all a sham. And it's disgusting. And as a black man, and then I'm gonna close it up early because I don't want to, and it's hot in here. I don't want to get too. But as a black man, y'all, that's why I work with it. That's why I'll never leave the community. I will never leave the community. That could have been me. That could have been any of my friends. That could have been any of us going to any gas station. Like it could have happened to any of us. How's every black man in the world not like, bro? Like y'all gonna self-reflect a little bit, or we gonna still keep talking about money, cars, and like, bro, y'all that's all that shit is so old, bro. What you got, like like that shit is old, bro. I was just watching one of the things from I think Trap Lord Ross, Adam 22, who was a slave catcher, and just gets them gang members on there. Like we'll go outside and squat. That's not being a man, bro. That y'all, it's y'all weirdos, bro. And I'm standing on it now. I used to be like a little bit more like, man, everybody you see saying, y'all weirdos, bro. Y'all weirdos. The one that's worried about jewelry and impressing, like that's weird. Y'all lame. Y'all super lame, bro. And the girls y'all get only with y'all for the money. The thought that y'all have it. I can go chop down any of y'all girls and take her in a day. With no money, spend nothing. It's called charisma. It's called being a decent human being, having something to talk about. Y'all niggas is weird, bro. And the celebrities that I don't want to hear y'all talk about no other case, and I don't want to hear no more outrage from y'all. Y'all lost the right to be outraged to me, because this is disgusting, bro. It's disgusting. All right, y'all. I'm not even gonna do no outro today because this one kind of pissed me off. Shout out Sabby Sabs one more time. Go follow Sabby Sabs. Sabrina Salvati. Go follow Sabby Sabs, y'all. This is a really good story. It's Kenny Kamz, y'all. I'm out. Peace.